responsibility is mine, and I take full responsibility for the loss. Yeah, it was a combination of things like it always is. We had two individual mistakes that cost two goals. Physically, we didn't look like we usually look. We're just talking about that. We lost so many 50-50 battles, which is one of the things that we do quite well usually, and that we've done quite well over the course of the season. Our backline wasn't great in terms of spacing, positionally, defensively in transition. Again, stuff that we've done so well, especially in the last two games. Today, it all disappeared. Could be many different reasons for that, but like I said, responsibility is always mine when we don't look good. Today we didn't look good, but we have two games this week and we got to get over it. There's no time to cry, really.
So the team was 3 down going into the half. I know that there was a water break, and then even at halftime, is there anything you said specifically to the team to change morale or tactically?
It was all about getting the next goal. The fourth goal I thought killed the game. If we scored it, and the goal would have been 3-1, and the game probably would have been different, especially with the energy from the crowd that again was amazing throughout the game, and we thank them for that. It's always so nice to play at home. But at the same time, you got to give credit to Ottawa. They look great today. They deserve to win, and congrats to them.
Marco, with a shorter bench today, we have several injuries availability. Did that affect how you made changes or your lineup at all today?
Our bench has been short the entire season, so I wouldn't blame injuries on today's result. I think we've had players out the entire year, so no, I wouldn't say that was one. We still had more than enough to perform well like we've had the entire season.
Start with you, Coach. This question is very simple. Do you feel like today's performance was the worst of the season from your team?
In terms of performance?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This was our worst performance of the year. There's no question about that. I never felt we had full control of the match, which in most of our other games we've had control when it came to possession and creating chances. Not that we didn't create, we did create a few chances, but overall it was poor.
The question goes particularly to both of you ladies. On the field today, where do you feel like this went wrong altogether? I know obviously the back, some goals that you would have definitely wanted back, but you did create a few opportunities in the match. Is that something maybe to take from this game despite the negatives?
Yeah, I can start. I think so. I think you kind of have to take whatever positives you can, even in a game like that. But for me, I think it's like mostly our mentality is where it went wrong. I think you can like look at a tactics board all day, but if you don't like really want to win, that's what happens. And I think they wanted it more than us today.
Yeah, I think we honestly have to also take in like the negatives. Like it was a poor performance. We need to look at what we can fix for the next game and move forward. Take the positives as well, but to be blunt, there were more negatives than positives. So I think like as long as we put our best foot forward for the next game, focus on the next game, figure out what we can do, fix those issues, we'll be good for that. So.
Hi, Jermaine from Fan First Network. Coach, the bye week seems like it couldn't have come at a worse time. The team was in great form. I'm sure the team doesn't want to make excuses, but how much did that maybe factor into the slow start in this game?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm sure it had an impact, and we had players away, but we also trained really well during the break. So I'm sure it had a bit of an impact, but again, it's not an excuse, and we just have to do better. There's going to be more international breaks coming up, and we can't use that as an excuse.
That's 3 games in 7 days. Is this game more of wipe it from the memory, or kind of like the players already mentioned, do you want to, take some key things from the game today?
So we evaluate every game the same, regardless of the result. We have to look at everything, look at our week, look at potentially why we didn't look as good physically as we usually do. Look at all the numbers, video, and then go from there.
I know this is harsh, but what do you think about the defense today? I think that was the poorest aspect of the game. Your offense was making plays, but what do you say to your defense now that you have games coming up? What mentality do you want them to have?
Yeah, I mean, players in the back line would tell you they didn't play well, but it's always a team effort. It's never one, two, or three players. And like I said, I take full responsibility for that because at the end of the day, how we look is my responsibility. You're gonna have bad games as a player. You have to get over it. That's part of having character, and we're gonna have to do it. And we play again on Wednesday in Vancouver, tough game, so we'll be ready for that.
Hey Marco, hey everyone. So first of all, extremely sorry about the defeat, but amongst everything that was bad, there was also a really good thing to see, and it's the first NSL signing ever. Jake Kovacevic finally debuted with the team. So can you tell me a bit of what was that, or like sending her into the pitch, what did that meant for the team and for everyone?
It was great to see Jade on the field. It's been a long time coming. She's been through a lot the entire preseason, and now beginning of the season she's had multiple injuries, and finally she's back. I think she looked great when she stepped on the field, and we're planning to give her about 20-25 minutes regardless of the result, and we're happy that she's here.
Absolutely, thank you. And then for Victoria, we saw you today with a more like attacking role today. Usually we see you more like depth in like number 8 or 6 position, but today we're side by side with Esther. So can I ask you about what was that role you had today?
Yeah, I mean, playing with Esther's fun. Like, you've seen her goals, and I'm sure there's going to be more future goals, future bangers from her. I mean, I think her and I could have done a better job on our press. I think we should have shifted a little bit more together. I found on the right side there wasn't as much width, so myself and Esther should have there should have been more movement from us. Obviously, like, neither of us scored, so it would have been nice to have gotten that one off, but I mean, it's a different role. But you know, I'll do whatever it takes for the team, whatever I have to do for the betterment of the team. So, yeah.
For Emma, obviously, it's a quick turnaround, but you go home now next, and you go to finally play in front of your family and everything in NSL. So what's that feeling like?
Yeah, it's a very cool feeling. I'm excited. I'll have a lot of family at the game, so that's really nice. But honestly, it's like full focus on the result. We can't like have this turn into a string of bad performances. So it's like all about how we train and how we travel and how we set up ourselves for the Vancouver and Calgary games next.
As captain, I think particularly you'll say to the group to move on as we have those two stretch of games away.
Yeah, I think it's just that. It's like we have to move on. We have to take this for what it was, and it's a lesson. Every time you lose, I think you kind of learn more than you do when you win. I think we learned a lot about our mentality and how we respond to, you know, bad things happening in the game, and it wasn't great. So I think we need to look at that, and there need to be changes, and people need to take accountability, myself included, everyone. And yeah, we have to bounce back. Like, we don't have time to wallow in this. It's on to the next.
Very quickly, one more from me, guys. I'll ask you directly, Coach, because I know you mentioned performance this season. Defensively, obviously, was where things particularly went wrong. What are some of the things you can be working on over the next little bit with the girls to make sure that that improves going to future matches, so you don't have a situation like conceding 2 goals off of defensive errors?
Individual mistakes happen on every level, and it's not really something that you can prepare for necessarily. I think we got to ensure that those girls that make those mistakes, that they understand that we still fully believe in them, that mistakes will happen. They're going to make more of them, I'm sure, at some point during the year, but it doesn't really change of how I look at them or how much I believe in them. So, yeah, we got to tighten things up. I thought last 2 games were very good in that aspect, but today didn't go our way, but we'll look at everything, evaluate, and make sure that it looks better on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was just thinking, not long term, but for the rest of the season, when you hear that now 2 players are out for the rest of the year, Leah Pays and Sonia Walk, does the league have something that you can bring in extra players, and not just for like 1 or 2 game permits, but someone like for a longer term, like a half-season contract at least?
We're always looking to improve our roster. It's an ongoing thing, not just for this season, but for the following seasons as well. That's something that myself, our sporting director, are always on the lookout for. And yeah, it's a shame that Leah and Sonia couldn't help us this year, but we still believe we have a very competitive roster, and we'll be all right.
Two final questions.
For either Emma or Victoria, I mean, all of you are taking accountability, which is commendable as being part of the leadership team. I think either, also Victoria, after the game, I saw you in the huddle there speaking to the team as well. How close-knit is the leadership team of your squad?
I think in general we're a pretty close team. I think, like as we've said before, like there's a lot of leaders on this team. There's a lot of people that are taking accountability after the game. It's not just us. So I think that's something that is really positive and will help us bounce back.
Yeah, I was more or less going to say the same thing. I feel like everyone has not to sound cheesy, but everyone really does have a voice here. Everyone is very receptive. So whenever I give, criticism to Emma, she's receptive and vice versa. So I think it's important that we're all just like listening to each other, looking at yourself before pointing at others. And then again, just moving forward and picking up where you left off. So.
I don't want to make this all doom and gloom. I was wondering if you guys got a chance to watch any of the U20 game yesterday. I know you guys were training. Did you get to see any of that game? And what's your message to the squad ahead of the final?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. We have a couple players from our team representing us there, Noelle and April. So happy for them. I think it's amazing. We were kind of joking that I've never beat the U.S., so I think the last time I played them, we lost like 5-0. So, yeah, honestly, it's like super, super impressive. I'm really proud of them.
I'll say the same. Yeah, I think they've been doing fantastic work. It's really exciting to see the youth program and seeing players in the NSL competing here and then, going on to beat some other world-class players. So it's really exciting for the youth Canadian team, and I hope they just kick ass in the final. So. Mm-hmm.
This is Raheem, RB Sports. I want to ask about Nikolai Small. It seemed like she was able to create some scoring chances for her teammates in the game. What does she mean for the club with her creativity creating?
Nikki's been great for us all year. I don't think she's had a bad game all season. Today again, she gave everything. There was moments where she was impacting offensively. It didn't go her way a couple times, just little bounces, timing of certain final balls. But Nikki has been great for us. We think she's one of the best players in the league, and yeah, we love having her.
Just one more, for the fans, if you have anything to say. We have 2 away games, and then our next match is on the 21st. I thought they were very loud even when the team was down, so maybe just a final parting words to some of our supporters.
We appreciate them so much. I mean, it's such a pleasure to play at home. It's a privilege to play in this stadium in front of them. We apologize for the performance today, but we'll be back, and we hope that they continue supporting us. Good.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
all.